We continue our reading of Lest We Forget, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, December 8, God Still Leads, Part 4. He guided them in the wilderness like a flock, Psalm 78:52. Yesterday we noted that Ellen White in 1901 had seen in vision a third sanitarium property in Southern California that the denomination needed to acquire. Yet she didn't know the location of the property, and neither the Glendale nor the Paradise purchases met the qualifications. Soon Adventists discovered a location called Loma Linda. The place had cost its owners $150,000, but because of financial failure, it now went on the market for $110,000 and then dropped to $85,000. But it might as well have been $1 billion to a conference that couldn't even raise $1,000 and had recently become involved with major properties in San Fernando, Paradise Valley, and Glendale. It is not difficult to imagine the increasing perplexities of the conference officers when Mrs. White began urging the purchase of a third sanitarium property within a few months after acquiring two others. Wouldn't she ever stop? But she was adamant. She was confident that the purchase of the Loma Linda property was God's will. The good news was that the owners soon reduced the price to $40,000, but even that didn't help people with no money. Unfortunately, time wasn't standing still. They had to come up with a down payment right away or lose the Loma Linda property. Ellen White, who still hadn't seen Loma Linda, telegraphed John Burden to make an immediate down payment. He did so, recognizing that the conference had explicitly told him that they could not be obligated. The good elder, realizing that he could lose the $1,000 down payment, decided to follow Ellen White's advice rather than that of the conference officers. Catching her vision that the securing of the Loma Linda property was God's will, he stepped out in faith. Thinking big is not an inherited trait for many of us, yet all down through Adventist history, it has been thinking big that has propelled the church forward. Help us, Lord, to be able to think larger, to be able to envision what you have in mind, and to have a part in the energizing of your work. This concludes our reading today of Lest We Forget.